Hey there, gamers. Welcome back to the channel. Raj here, your guide to all things gaming, nostalgia, and everything in between. Today, I'm taking you on a journey, a deep dive into one of the most groundbreaking games ever created, Metal Gear Solid. For those of you who've been here before, you know this isn't just another game review. Oh no, today is personal. We're talking about a game that defined an era, a game that shaped the way we think about storytelling and gameplay. This is more than just a trip down memory lane. It's a celebration of one of the most iconic titles in gaming history. So, buckle up, because we're about to sneak, crawl, and codec call our way through the masterpiece that is Metal Gear Solid. And trust me, whether you've played it 100 times, or you've never touched a PS1 controller, you're in for a treat. Alright, before we dive into the gameplay, let's set the stage. It's 1998. Gaming is in this weird but exciting transition phase. The PlayStation 1 is dominating the scene, but most games are still focused on fast-paced action, colorful platformers, or arcade-style experiences. And then, Metal Gear Solid drops, and it changes everything. Developed by Hideo Kojima and his team at Konami, this wasn't just a game, it was a revolution. Kojima didn't just want you to play a game, he wanted you to live it. From the moment you start, you feel like you've stepped into a blockbuster movie, and not just any movie. An espionage thriller filled with twists, emotional depth, and unforgettable characters. For me, Metal Gear Solid wasn't just another game on my shelf. It was the game that showed me what this medium was capable of. It made me realize that games could be art, that they could tell stories just as compelling as the best movies or books. And honestly, it's still just as impactful today as it was back then. So, let's talk about the premise. You play as Solid Snake, a retired soldier called back into action to infiltrate Shadow Moses Island, a top-secret nuclear weapons facility. Why? Because a rogue special forces unit known as Foxhound has taken over the base and is threatening nuclear war unless their demands are met. No pressure, right? But here's the kicker. This isn't a run-and-gun game. Snake isn't some indestructible action hero who mows down enemies without breaking a sweat. He's a spy, a strategist, and a survivor. And that means you're not just charging into battle. You're sneaking, hiding, and outsmarting your enemies at every turn. From the very first mission, where you have to avoid patrols in the snow, Metal Gear Solid teaches you one thing: patience. Every step you take, every move you make, feels deliberate. And the tension? Oh, it's real. You're constantly on edge, wondering if the guard you just dodged is going to turn around, or if you'll accidentally trip an alarm. It's pure, adrenaline-fueled brilliance. Now, I have to talk about my first time playing this game, because honestly, it's a memory that's etched into my brain forever. I remember being a kid, sitting cross-legged on the floor with my PS1 humming in the background. I had no idea what I was getting into. I mean, look at this cover. It's cool, sure, but it doesn't even hint at the emotional roller coaster you're about to go on. The moment the game started, I was hooked. From the cinematic intro to the stealth mechanics, everything about it felt so different, so fresh. And the story? Oh man, it was like watching a James Bond movie, but darker, more mature, and way more intense. Even the smallest details, like the way Snake's footsteps echoed in the snow, or the way guards reacted to your movements, felt revolutionary. Let's talk about the codec system for a second. This was one of the most innovative parts of Metal Gear Solid. At first, it seems simple. It's just a way for characters to communicate with you during the mission. But the more you use it, the more you realize it's so much more than that. Through the codec, you get to know the characters on a deeper level. Colonel Campbell isn't just your mission commander. He's a mentor, a father figure. Naomi Hunter isn't just some scientist. She's got her own secrets, her own motivations. And Mei Ling? She's there to remind you to save your game and drop some ancient Chinese wisdom while she's at it. These conversations aren't just filler, they're world building. They make you care about the people you're working with. And in a game as tense as this one, having that connection is everything. But let's be real, the story wouldn't be half as compelling without its villains. And let me tell you, Foxhound is one of the most iconic groups of antagonists in gaming history. Psychomantis, the mind-bending psychic who messes with your controller. Sniper Wolf, whose tragic story will hit you right in the feels. Vulcan Raven, a literal tank of a man. And, of course, Liquid Snake, your genetic twin and one of the most memorable final bosses ever. Each boss fight isn't just a battle. It's a test of wits, a puzzle to solve. And the best part? Every fight ties into the story in a meaningful way. You're not just fighting random enemies. You're facing off against people with their own goals, their own struggles. Of course, we can't forget the gameplay itself. At its core, Metal Gear Solid is a stealth game. But it's so much more than just hiding in shadows. You have tools at your disposal, like the iconic cardboard box, which, let's be honest, is probably the most ridiculous and brilliant item in gaming history. But the real magic comes from how the game challenges you to think creatively. Can't get past a guard? Maybe you can distract them by knocking on a wall. Need to find a hidden item? Use your thermal goggles to spot it. Every obstacle feels like a mini puzzle, and solving it is incredibly satisfying. So, why should you play Metal Gear Solid in 2024? Because it's timeless. Sure, the graphics might be dated, and the controls might feel a bit clunky compared to modern games, but the heart of this game, it's as strong as ever. This is a game that dared to be different, that pushed boundaries and redefined what a video game could be. And whether you're a longtime fan or a newcomer, it's a journey worth taking. Alright, that's it for the intro, but we're just getting started. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into the gameplay mechanics, the unforgettable boss fights, and the moments that make this game a legend. But before I go, let me know in the comments, what's your favorite memory of Metal Gear Solid? Or if you've never played it, what's stopping you? As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more nostalgic gaming content. And hey, if you're feeling sneaky, share this video with a fellow gamer who needs to experience the magic of Snake's world. Until next time, keep gaming, stay nostalgic, and remember, you're pretty good. Peace.
I heard